Hey everybody, Graz here from the GKBC. AJ with her triumphant return behind the camera. The daughter's right here with us, playing on her phone. We're all sweltering in our melt box. We've just kind of decided to tough it out and then get a new house AC unit with tax refunds if we get enough. So if you see us sweating or whatever, then that's why. And if you wonder why I'm low energy today, I have a really bad headache. I think it's due to the heat and the pressure. Anyway, I'm here to give you a TBR for September. And a couple other little things too. First off, check out this bookmark that the doctor made me. Is that in there good?
Mm-hmm.
It's we have a calico cat at my mom and dad's named Widget, and this is a humanization of that, and she made it for me. It's a bookmark. I will be attempting to finish City on Fire by Garth Risk Hallberg. This is part of my supersized summer big book challenge. Book's over 800 pages, hosted by Kim the Paper Traveler, co-hosted by myself and Liv Riomer. And this is my last challenge. I've got a couple others that are almost near the end. This is 911 pages, and I am currently through page 187. I'm not digging this. Not at all. I'm almost 200 pages in, and I'm still kind of casting about for what's the point here. So we'll see. I am almost done with Jerusalem by Alan Moore. This is 1,266 pages, and I am through page 1,060. So pretty happy about that. I'm still reading Gone with the Wind, one chapter per day. No spoilers on that. You will get a full GKBC roundtable update tomorrow on that. Okay. I'm also going to read book 4, or volume 4, of Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. Smythe, whatever. It's got a Y in it, so it's probably Smythe. I've been reading a volume a month for the past couple months, and it's going to be kind of neat because I'm reading volume 4 this month, and then volume 5 comes out in October, right?
Yes.
So that'll be neat to be able to read the brand new one.
October 2nd?
Okay. It's usually a Tuesday, so whatever the first Tuesday of the month is. Excuse me, so I'm going to read that. Now I'm going to get into my 12-12-12 books. On the Kindle, I have 2 of them. One of my 12-12-12 categories is Dean Koontz, Sidney Sheldon, and Catherine Neville. And this month is a Catherine Neville book, and I'm reading The Magic Circle. And I've actually already started that, and I'm 25% of the way through. So it's going. I like her style. I'm still trying to figure out the connections, but like I said, I still have 75% of the book to go. And then, for some reason, this is under science fiction for me. It's called The Employees by Olga Ravn, R-A-V-N. If I mispronounced that, I am really sorry to people. I think that's my science fiction book. Okay, and then this pile right here is the rest. I have most of them in, physical copies. So my ghost story this month is Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. And I showed this in a previous video, but it's really cool with this back image of this architecture. It's pretty sweet. That's my ghost story. My graphic novel, which also fits for fall apparently. I didn't even realize it until the Kim at the Paper Traveler told me that it was a fall cover. Mouse Guard, Fall 1152 by David Peterson. That's my graphic novel this month. My vampire book is The Vampire Tapestry by Susie McKee Charnis. I really don't know much about any of these. Werewolf book, favorite cover of the month. Frostbite, A Werewolf Tale by David Wellington. And this cover is incredible. Am I at the right height for that?
Yes.
Okay, I just, it's like, what do I do? But that's my favorite cover of the month. This is my mystery suspense thriller book. It's another book of the month. We get mostly thrillers. When We Were Bright and Beautiful by Jillian Medoff. Medoff? And that's another pretty snazzy book with the colors and the wraparound cover with the, or maybe it's not wraparound. Maybe it's like a mirror image. But that's that. Okay. Hard Case Crime. Number 9 is 361 by Donald E. Westlake. And this cover's pretty cool. He's sneaking up on his people. He'd lost everything except his eye for vengeance. Ooh. That's my Hard Case Crime. My Agatha Christie book this month is actually the one that I'm most excited about. Because I've heard so much about this character. It is The Murder at the Vicarage, which is the first Miss Marple book. I've never read a Miss Marple book, so I'm kind of really excited to get into this. And I found this really cool copy at one of our local used bookstores. Kind of a neat old Dell $1.50 book from 1976. So I was 1 when this book came out, or not came out, but when this edition came out. It was originally written in 1930. So, okay, my bodice ripper this month, which I hope is better than some of the ones I've had recently, is An Unexpected Pleasure by Candace Camp. And this curvy redhead is looking for some fun times, probably with the fancy lad in the blue suit here. So I'm hoping it's better than some of the other ones, because a lot of these seriously are not what I wanted. They're just basically turning into historical fiction where one either the male or the female, it doesn't matter, it varies, is a member of the high society, like royalty or gentry or whatever you want to call it, and then the other one is common, and they have to overcome everything to be together, and you can tell right away who it's going to be. It's just, how are they going to get there this time? And I've read 8 different versions of that, so I'm kind of, rest assured, next year if I do a challenge like this, this will not be a category. I'm done with it. If I wasn't so deep into the year, I might have canceled it altogether. My Western is the second story in this great double book I found. It's called The Regulator by Ray Hogan. Last month I read The Vigilante by Ray Hogan, and it was okay. So I'm hoping The Regulator is better. I'm finding, I'm probably going to get hate for this from some people, but I'm finding that these big-time Western authors of yesteryear, aren't that good. I mean, I read 4 straight Zane Grey novels, and I mean, middling to okay. Now I've read one Ray Hogan, and I'm not impressed yet. And now at the end of the year, maybe next month, I can't remember when, but soon I'm going to be reading my first Louis L'Amour book. So I'm hoping that he lives up to the hype of these names, because I'm kind of wanting to just come into the more modern westerns that have been written. So I know next year I'm going to look for the Gene Hackman western. My brick of the month, which is a book of 500 or more pages. I guess I didn't need to do this considering I'm doing the big book challenge and I still got a ton of them, but is The Last Templar by Raymond Corey. And I put this on the list because I owned it. My mom gave it to me, I think. Or, I don't know, maybe somebody might have got it for me because of the neat cover. It's kind of arresting. But it doesn't really excite me because the blurb on the front from the New York Times likens it to the Da Vinci Code, which, again, it's like, well, whatever, I guess. But I will read it. I mean, it is 523 pages, so, boy, that's going to seem like a half day or a break or going home early after all these 800-page, 1,200-page beasts. That's my 12, 12, 12. Those are my big books. And Lore Olympus. I'm not sure what else I'll add as the month goes, but I know one thing I'm going to do. Oh boy, I'm going to forget their name too. So I'm going to open it up on the phone. Sorry, I don't normally do this. The channel Books I'm Not Reading, and I will link them below too, along with The Paper Traveler and Livery Omer. Books I'm Not Reading is hosting an event for September called Shaktember, which is read anything by Shakespeare. I've never read any of Shakespeare's tales, I guess. I mean, I guess I have read one or two of his sonnets, but I've never read a play. So I'm going to join in on Shaktember, and I'll hashtag that somewhere too. Oh, and by the way, books I have not read. I don't really know her name yet. I just found her today. I was watching another YouTuber, Read by Fred, who I'm sure you don't need me to explain. And he mentioned that he was going to take part in this event, Shaktember. And I thought, well, that sounds interesting. I'm going to learn a little bit more about it. So I followed his link to the original, to the person who's running it, which happens to be books I haven't read. So that's the only video of hers that I've watched so far. But I commented on it 3 weeks after she posted it, and asked for a little bit of help in maybe deciding what to read, and she was extremely helpful and very kind. So go give her a check out too, any of you that have the mind to. But so what I'm gonna do, and I'm leaning towards one of these. I have this book that we got at Barnes & Noble. It's called it's Shakespeare's Tragedies, and it has 4 of his plays in here: Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. And I'm leaning towards one of those to read. I'm not going to say which, because I've got a few people who comment. So if you know Shakespeare, then give me your opinion on which one you think I should read and which one you would like me to talk about, because obviously I'm going to take part in the event, so I'm going to talk about it. And then I will, whoever responds, I'll take that into consideration, and then I'll figure it out. I've got a little bit of time because I'm going to read some of these other books first. I'm a TBR/mood reader. I set a TBR, I try, and I stick to it pretty well. But I don't go in order. I just I'm like, okay, well, I just read a big book, so I'm gonna read a small book, something like that. Sorry, I've got some indigestion. But anyway, so Shaketember, join in if you want. And if you do, make sure that you tag books that I have not read in your video, so that she can check it out too. She's got high energy. I'm very excited about this. The only other thing that I can tell you I'm going to be reading, I can't really tell you what it is, but the MARVEL-ous team up with Tad at Tad Reads Books and Stuff, channel also linked below, is continuing. We have finished Thirsty Mermaids. His video is out for the final section. Mine will go out probably Tuesday. So look for that. And in that video, unless you've already watched his and you know, we will be, or I'll reveal what our next graphic novel that we will be reading is. So, and that's it. That's all I've got for you tonight. If any of these books sound interesting to you, let me know. If you've read them, and whether you liked them or not, let me know. If you want to read any of them with me, more the merrier. Let's go. You know, I mean, a couple months ago, I was reading Hyperion. I was going to read Hyperion, and that ended up to be a 3 or 4 person buddy read, which was great. So let's go. Join in, and I do have some reviews coming. Got a special coming. We got our roundtable tomorrow, and I'm just going to give you a little spoiler. The kind of I don't know if anybody watched my Overlook series, where we read and watched The Shining. Both we read The Shining book, and we watched the movie and the miniseries, and we did the same thing for Dr. Sleep, and we did videos on all 5 of those, and we had skits for some. Well, that's coming back for our next book, the next book in what the GKBC read. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I want it to be a little surprise, but I've got a pretty neat skit worked out in my mind, so I think that's going to be pretty neat. I hope people like the skits. If you do, let me know. I know people really got a kick out of Book Hall. It's a book in the hall. I know everybody kind of really liked that. So that's it. That's all I got. Do either of you behind the camera have anything to say?
No.
Just happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
And I hope that wherever you are, if you're in the summer months, I hope you're staying slightly cool, because it is miserable being hot and sweaty. Because I've always got a perfect argument for this. In the cold, you can always put on another layer and eventually get comfy. In the heat, you can only go so far before you're just like walking around naked. So I can't wait for late fall. That's my time. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Let's see. Uh-oh, we're being invaded by the giant crab monsters. Please help us. Ah!